Hey guys, so this is a pretty unusual review, but I'm reviewing two things. One of them is the Dewalt drill. As you can see here, this is a 20 volt max drill. Looks like that. You can see it on the counter. Pretty awesome, pretty industrial. Probably overkill for what I'm using it for. And if you notice, the second thing that I'm going to review is the actual component that is used to do the mixing, which you can see right there. You see that? And then it comes in a box. It looks like this with two other accessories. You got your standard mixer, and then your beater that looks like that. Oops, dropped one on the floor. I need to wash that. So it looks like that. That's the three parts. And I'm going to be mixing this nutso butter. And if you look in there, this is just like pure liquid. So we're going to see how this mixer actually works. Now, depending on the kind of tools you use at home, I didn't want to actually use one of my construction drills for the mixing, so I bought one just for the kitchen, and that way it doesn't have any particles from drywall or wood chips or anything that are going to fall into the food. I want to show you, so I have it on the number one setting on the drill, because the 2 is really a rapid, just too much, going to make a mess, I believe. And so I'm going to put it on 1. And then in terms of the setting for torque here, I'm just going to go with the standard 1 for the setting. I'm also including links down below to both of these items. I'm giving you an honest review of these, and I do earn a tiny amount of commission from Amazon if you end up clicking on a link and buying one of these things. So if you find out you want to try it, I appreciate if you click on the link. All right, let's get to it, see what happens. So I'm gonna go ahead and just assume this is gonna be the best way to do this and just put the bit inside. And I've already washed it completely. I'm just gonna start really slow. Okay, that's not gonna work. So I've just determined that I have to hold the container. Of course this makes sense, because what was I thinking? That it was just gonna stay still. So if you have a free hand, you're gonna have to use 2 hands. And as you can see, I'm holding the drill with 1 hand, and I'm gonna go really slow and just let this start to mix and see what happens. As you can see, it's completely covered in oil, but I'm going really slow. Now, another thing too, I don't want to push too hard against the edge of the plastic, because this is a drill, this is a construction drill, and if you really push hard, you could probably dig through the bottom of the plastic and bite into it and it'd be a disaster. So I'm going to go really slow here, and I'm just going to stay in the middle and see if I can speed up a little, because it's clumping up now on the bit. Now I'm not, just so you guys know, I am not pushing down in the plastic. I am holding it up probably about a ½ inch off the plastic on the bottom of the container. Just running at a moderate speed. And I'm going to go ahead and go around the edges a little bit, just lightly. I'm letting the drill do all the work. I'm not forcing anything here. And this is really... Now, the bottom of this drill bit, just so you guys know, so it does not have a sharp edge on the bottom. As you can see, I don't know if you can see that, it's rounded. So it does not dig into the bottom of the plastic. But that edge at the top here, and this tip, if you tilt this certain ways, you might start to dig the plastic, which you just don't want. So that was a really smart design. Oh, I'm really liking this. This is actually, now I can really speed it up. What I'm trying to do here is just make a really nice, perfectly blended nut butter, so I don't have to have all that oil everywhere, and I can get it balanced out when I use it, you know, if I use it like peanut butter or whatever I want. Oh, yeah, that's going to make a mess. Okay, so I'm going to take it out. So you know what? I'm happy with that. That's a really consistent mix now. And as you can see, the oil is not sitting on top. It's got a nice basic texture with the oil in there. I mean, it's definitely not like your traditional peanut butter, because it's it's a much more concentrated oil butter. But this is well mixed. So what rating am I going to give this? On a scale from 1 to 10, using both of these tools together, using the drill, this specific Dewalt drill, and the bit that you can see here, and we look at the consistency of the butter, it's very well mixed, very even. It's definitely, this is not peanut butter. This is multiple nuts that have more fat in them than peanuts. And that's where I get this extra oil in there. Now, I did not review the egg beater, and I did not review the traditional mixer that I threw in the sink because it fell on the floor. Might end up doing those in a later video. So back to the rating. I'm gonna rate this at a 7. 10 would be perfect. Obviously, this drill, the reason I bought this drill because it's a really good price, and I've had really good results with Dewalt products. I don't do contracting full time. I use them around the house. I wouldn't say if they're the best or not. All I know is I've had consistent luck with their use. So this is a bit bigger than a newer model that they have that is more expensive. It's bigger, but again, I got it because of the price point and that it's lithium, and the battery you charge them and they seem to just last forever. Even if you don't charge it for a year, it still has juice in it, which is always nice because you forget to charge it, you can go get it off the shelf. Works great. I also want to point out that this specific one that I ordered came in a nice bag and has a charger and 2 batteries, which is awesome. So you get 2 20-volt max lithium-ion Dewalt batteries. Of course, I have the other one on there already. But again, I purchased this specifically for kitchen use just because I didn't want like chunks of drywall, dust, paint chips, anything that could fall out through the motor or from the surface of it to get into the food product. So I bought this specifically for kitchen. There might even be ones that are designed for kitchen that I just think having the Dewalt, it's super powerful. I don't have to worry about anything in terms of what this thing can or can't mix. But it is conceivable because that Dewalt is so powerful that if I use this beater, for example, in something it wasn't intended for example, I would use this really for eggs, and I would put it on the number 2 setting, and you get this super hyper speed, which is really awesome when you're trying to beat like egg whites or something like that. Then if I was making cookies or something, I could use this, again, getting that really high speed to get a really, really good mix. I've used the home cookie blenders before and the home cookie batter mixers. Nothing has the power like this Dewalt unless it's some industrial level mixer that you get. All right, guys, so that's a wrap. Check out all the information below. Again, I provided the links if you want to check out the details of either of the products. Good luck. I hope this was helpful.